Welcome to EFTM today, taking a look at the brand new Apple AirPods Pro. Now what I want to do today is actually compare the Apple AirPods and the AirPods Pro to some of the most important competitors on the market. But before I do that, we have to talk about the product itself. So the AirPods Pro, so confusing that it's a plural, AirPods Pro, but I think we'll all get used to that. A completely new product for Apple. They sit above, yet side by side with the standard AirPods in the Apple Store. So the standard AirPods have obviously entered their second evolution, their second generation earlier this year, and they now come at a $249 price tag or 319 Australian dollars if you buy them with a wireless charging case. Now the AirPods Pro, $80 more because they include a wireless charging case. So you're actually only paying an $80 premium given you're taking into account the wireless charging. Now AirPods standard at $249 compared directly to the Samsung Galaxy Buds and the Jabra Elite 65Ts. So before I kind of move into the noise cancelling space, which is the big feature of the AirPods Pro, I do want to quickly address the fact that I'm not a massive fan on these. I have never actively used Apple AirPods. I use them, I reviewed them, but it's this that worries me. It's just a really quite a long stalk. I'm not sure you don't look a little silly. You know, I don't know where it's meant to sit down or up, and everyone wears them differently, but they really stand out. And I just think visually that's what concerned me most. I also have a problem that they fall out. These are barely sitting in my ear. Sure, that's just my ear. Other people don't have that problem. Other people love the fit of the Apple AirPods, earbuds, the whole thing. They're all the same. But I, for one, prefer a silicon tip, and we'll get to that on the AirPods Pro. So these are, as Apple says, the most popular headphones in the world. Now, some people are saying they have 60% market share. That is staggering, but you know, you do see them everywhere, so maybe that is the case. Samsung's product, on the other hand, I actually think is an absolute cracker. Now, the reason I don't mind this is because it sits much further into your ear. So looking front on, you can barely see that it's there. Looking side on, it's just filling a gap. So because it doesn't have the stalk coming out, I much prefer it. I really do. Great sound quality, pretty good battery life. The biggest disadvantage to these at the same price is there's only 7 hours of extra battery in here. So you've got 6 hours in here, and when that's flat, you can charge them up again for it to get another 7. With the AirPods, there's 24 in total. So you have about 5 plus another few recharges after that. So that's a big disadvantage to the $250 price tag of the Samsung Galaxy Buds, and I think it would put a lot of people off. But if you're an Android user, Samsung user, they're a cracker and wirelessly chargeable as well. But really, at $250, this is what you want. The Jabra Elite 65T. Now these ones, and I've got a kind of beige gold here, but they come in a black and a blue as well. These, again, they're a bit bigger than the Samsung Galaxy Buds, but I think, you know, looking front on, you're barely seeing much. They certainly don't stick out, like I said, those Bose Sound Sports do. Side on, not a massive problem. I like the design because it actually is giving you, I think, a better sound quality. There's a bit of wind cancellation going on, but unfortunately, phone call quality, not so great on these. So if you're massive on phone calls, you are actually best in the Apple space, I have to say. But at $250, this is the price. This is the product you want at that price point. So the Jabra Elite 65Ts at $250 are definitely the ones to have, the ones to beat. Taking it up a notch though was when Sony released these. Now these are the WF-1000 XM3s. Complicated name. They're Sony's in-ear noise cancelling headphones. Now these, silicon tip on the end, they do stick out a fair bit front on. If you look at me front on there, sideways, they're large, much larger than the Galaxy Buds, for example, but not awful. And I think that's actually partly because of the color I like. I think the black doesn't stand out as much as a white does. These are excellent sound quality. The music quality here is better than any of the others we've talked about thus far. The Jabras are probably the best music quality, by the way, at $250. These are $399. Case is huge. There is a full 24 hours of battery in here after you've got your kind of 5 hours out of the individual. So they're very much on par with Apple in that sense. Very big case though, and annoyingly it doesn't stand up on its own. It falls over. It doesn't have a flat bottom. I don't know why that is. You kind of sit it this way, it's fine, but that's upside down. But anyway, that said, it's a good product, a great product, and it was absolutely the standout product at $399 for in-ear noise cancelling, wire-free. In-ear noise cancelling, I'd still probably go the Bose QC20s. They're the wired version, and they're still absolute class leaders. But if you want to go fully wireless, these were the class leaders until today. And that's when Apple came with their new AirPods Pro. Now, first up, the case is bigger, it's wider. It's actually not as tall, but it's wider than the AirPods. Strangely, this is silly, it has a different sound. Very, very different tone. You could play music. Anyway, it's a wider case, makes not much difference visually. It's wireless charging as well. But the critical thing is when you open them up, you have two brand new headphones. Now, I'll just put in first and foremost and just give you that comparison. So there you are looking at me with the Apple AirPods Pro. Now, it's a huge difference, that stalk. The stalk's still there sticking out, but let me show you now again. This is it. This is the standard AirPod. Do you see how big and how, I guess, that stands out so much? It just, even if you've got it pointing directly, it's just such a big stalk. And when you look at them side on, there's a good 7 millimeters difference in the size of that stalk. So yeah, I really think that alone is a selling point for these. They're white still. It'd be great if they were black, but that smaller stalk is an absolute winner. What they've done is they've put all the microphone technology higher up, so that that microphone was pointing down. That was part of the reason for that long stalk. But also the big difference is the silicon tip. The actual AirPod, similar shape, but very, very different. It's a much bigger bulb, smaller stalk, bigger bulb, and the silicon tip. There's not much actually under the silicon tip in terms of what's going in here. It's really just the silicon tip that's going in, and it gives you a snug fit. And that's where the noise cancelling begins. Good noise cancelling occurs when you have some passive noise cancelling, which is essentially this. You've got a silicon tip blocking out some of the noise. And then you have the technology of a microphone on the outside, which listens to the outside world, and it sends back in a cancelled out frequency that noise. So you end up with nothing. And that's what you want. You want nothing. Now, when I put them both in, I've got full noise cancelling. It's an eerie sound. I've tested it pretty extensively with some white noise, some airplane noise, some background noise. It's pretty darn good. But when you're not playing music, you'd be surprised how ineffective noise cancelling is. Even on a plane, you'd be surprised. When you're playing music, you actually don't hear the distraction as much. But if you've got nothing playing, again, those Bose, and certainly the over-ear Bose, are an absolute winner when it comes to the complete noise cancelling package. So the best thing about these overall though is that you've got a fit test. So you go into the Bluetooth settings of your phone and you click on the AirPods and you can do a fit test. And what it does is it plays a sound. You press play on the screen, plays a sound to you, like a little bit of music, for a couple of seconds. And what happens is the microphones on the outside listen to see how much sound is leaking out. And they tell you then to use a bigger tip or a smaller tip. They give you some advice on what size silicon tip to use on your AirPods. That is a big part of creating the best noise cancelling. So a very good feature. Now, if you want to turn off noise cancelling, you can do that on the app. You basically just open up the control panel, force click on the volume slider, and you can go and you've got noise cancelling on, noise cancelling off, and transparent. Now, transparent you can also activate just by pushing and holding the small force touch area. Oh, it's quite weird when you hear yourself. It's like I'm listening to myself on a microphone. You activate that, so I'm now getting the sound around me. It's the same ambient sound style approach that other manufacturers have to, when you're on a plane, you want to hear people talk to you. When you're on the streets, you want to hear the cars around you, so it's a safer way to use headphones, still with great music quality. Now that little force touch bar that sits just on the side, it's on both of them. I can push and hold it again, small chime, and noise cancelling back on. Now, I can also just squeeze it once, that'll play music. There we go. I can squeeze it once again, it'll pause the music. I can double squeeze it quickly, it'll advance, triple squeeze it, it'll go back a track. So you've got track control on a little squeeze. It's a bit strange to get used to because you expect it to be like just a touch or a tap, but it's just a gentle squeeze on this force touch area on the side of both AirPods Pro. Sound quality, excellent. Now it is probably a couple of steps above your standard AirPods, but a lot of that is because of the noise cancelling. So because you're blocking out some of the exterior noise, you're just getting better quality. I'm not sure it's better than, say, your Sonys in terms of music quality. I think Sony probably have the edge there, but because noise cancelling is better slightly on the AirPods, it's very, very much a neck and neck race, and I would go for these because of the size and the form factor over the Sonys, and that's pretty much the only reason. You're not going to be disappointed with the sound quality, you're not going to be disappointed with the noise cancelling, and I think on value, $399 is the perfect price point for these. Still a lot of money for a lot of people, and there's cheaper headphones out there, but an impressive first attempt from Apple at a noise cancelling headphone. The full review you can read is at EFTM.com. My pick is the Apple AirPods Pro. If you're looking to spend $250, I'd go the Jabra Elite 65Ts. Amazing new products, and there's going to be a price war underway very soon, I'm sure, in retail stores leading up to Christmas for in-ear wireless, fully wireless headphones.